Welcome to Rise and Thrive, Conversations for Greatness. We bring you captivating conversations with extraordinary individuals who have conquered challenges, achieved greatness, and are making a positive impact in the world. This is your go-to source for inspiration and motivation. I'm your host, John Merkus. You bet I'm your host, and I am so excited to be here. This is the culmination of years of desires, thinking, and finally action. I'm so pumped that you're listening. Welcome everybody. I'm absolutely thrilled that you're listening today for the very first solo episode of the podcast, and I couldn't be more excited to embark on this journey with you. You know, I've been dreaming of this moment for quite some time, and it's finally here. This show is all about inspiring, motivating, and empowering each and every one of you to reach your highest potential, to unlock more greatness, and to truly thrive. Look, we all have a reservoir of untapped potential within us, waiting to be unleashed. Whether it's in our careers, our personal lives, our communities, we can rise above any challenges and obstacles to achieve greatness, or even more greatness than we already have, or they're already having. Yes, my goal for this show is simple. I want you to feel so happy, so motivated, and so inspired that you can't wait to listen to every episode. My wish for you is to wake up every day with a sense of purpose and a burning desire to make your dreams a reality. Over the course of this series, we'll be joined by incredible guests from various walks of life. Entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, thought leaders, all of whom have one thing in common. They've risen above challenges, embraced their greatness, and thrived in their own unique ways. We'll delve into their stories, their strategies, and the wisdom they've gained along the way. But this show isn't just about their stories. It's about your story too. It's about giving you the tools, the insights, and the motivation to create your own path to greatness. And here's a critical aspect that I can't stress enough. Surround yourself with the right people and be mindful of what you expose yourself to. These principles are absolute game changers to your journey to greatness. The company you keep and the information you absorb have a profound impact on your growth and success. It's not just about reaching for the stars. It's about choosing constellations that guide you towards your goals. It's about being selective with the influences that shape your mindset and aspirations. I truly hope this podcast is one of those influences for you, an extremely positive one in your life. So, my friends, get ready to embark on this incredible journey with me. Together, we'll explore the limitless potential within ourselves, and we'll learn how to rise and thrive in every aspect of our lives while keeping the right company and being aware of what surrounds us. Let's make greatness a habit. And let's start right now. Thank you for joining me today. Today, it's me and you. So let's have a heart-to-heart, and I want to ignite your spirit, lift your soul, and leave you buzzing with the energy of possibility. Are you ready? Fantastic. Let's dive right in. I've read many personal development books and been to scores of seminars and training to better myself. I highly recommend investing in yourself. It's one of the best things you can do. And I know sometimes there's barriers in doing that. You want to spend your money somewhere else or your time somewhere else or doing something else. But if you get the opportunity to invest in yourself, I recommend and highly suggest that you take it. Have a think, what opportunities right now have you been exposed to where you could invest in yourself? Is there a course that you could do? Is there a book you could read? Is there people that you could hang around with? Anyway, I'll leave that to you. When I learn new things that make a difference in my life, I always think, why doesn't everybody know this? How come it's not common knowledge? And the next thing that happens to me is I have a burning desire to share whatever that is with others. So sometimes when I do share, it's a reminder to others about a concept that they might have heard before or that they already know. Sometimes you need to hear things from different people in different ways at different times before the message really sinks in. Sometimes you learn things that are a freaking revelation. Now, this first one I want to share with you, you might intuitively know, but it puts it in a super powerful way. And I think this will blow your mind like it blew my mind. Are you ready? It's simple, but it's amazing. Here goes. There are only ever two aspects of life for a human being. Number one, the circumstances. Number two, the conversation we are about the circumstances. Boom. And you see, the conversation that we are having about our circumstances have a far greater impact on us than the actual circumstances themselves. Therefore, the conversation that I am determines the quality and experience of my life. Wow. So, just to say that again, there's two aspects of life for a human being. Number one, our circumstances. We get that. There's things. Number two, the conversation we are about the circumstances and the conversation that we are having about our circumstances have a far greater impact on us than the circumstances themselves. You know that voice inside you that's talking, or that conversation that you're having. A friend of mine told me once, life's a conversation. You're either having one with someone else or you're having one with yourself. So what is the quality of that conversation that you're having about your circumstances? You know, I've been contracting all over the world for many years, looking after the people side of change and when people are transitioning to new ways of working. And sometimes things don't work out. I mean, I remember being called into a meeting room with 20 others and being told that the project is ending, that we are not continuing, and thank you very much for your services, and see you later. So those were the circumstances that I was dealing with. And yes, it was a shock, and yes, I wish that it didn't happen that way. But the fact was that it did happen. So those were my circumstances. So I started thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to do now? This could be an opportunity to do something else, to work with other people and to continue my career. The other conversation I could have had was, woe is me. Oh, this shouldn't be happening. I could have been yelling at a closed door where if I just turned around, there'd be another door open. So just a small example of the conversation that you are about your circumstances can make a huge difference. So what's going to propel me forward more? A conversation I'm having with myself about this could be a new opportunity to do something else that I want to do, or the conversation that, woe is me, this shouldn't be happening, how unfair, all this kind of thing. So part of the reason that I feel that's important about that kind of conversation and having a more uplifting one with yourself is that puts you in a state to be able to take the action that you need to take. So there's a saying in training that all learning is state dependent. So when you are feeling upbeat and energized, your ability to learn things increases. So when you're feeling lethargic, bored, unenergetic, you're not really going to learn. And that's the same in life. And you're not always going to be upbeat, I get it, but you have the power, you have the power to control it based on your thoughts. Every emotion, here's another mind blower. Every emotion that you have started off as a thought. Whoa. When you think about it, however you're feeling starts with what you're thinking. You think something and then you feel something. So you want to be the custodian of your thoughts, be mindful of what you're thinking. And if you're not thinking something that's uplifting you, that's taking you to somewhere where you want to go, change it. Now, how do you change it? Well, that's a great question, John. Thanks for asking. So you change it firstly by being mindful and being aware of the fact that it's possible to change how you feel with a thought. So you've got that covered now. Love to know if that was something new for you. In the feedback, I'll tell you how to give us feedback later, but I'll do it now. You just email me, john@johnmerkus.com. So now you have the awareness of, I need to be careful choosing my thoughts, right? Thoughts create things. Everything starts with a thought. Everything. You look around you, everything that you can see, and you could even debate about nature, but let's not go there right now. Let's exclude that maybe for now. Everything you see around you was someone else's thought. I'm in my office. I'm looking at a monitor. I can see the pictures on the wall that I've taken. I can see drapery, the curtains is what I mean. I can see a beautiful painting of my mum and dad's village in the Netherlands. These are all someone else's thoughts. So these things were created by thought. So thought is so incredibly powerful, and you really want to be guarding your thoughts with intent. No, that's too intense. I was going to say with intensity, but I think you're getting the point here. Be mindful of what you're thinking, because it affects your mood, it affects what you feel, and it creates, because everything starts with a thought. So you're thinking stuff that you don't really want to think, or you're getting a bit negative or whatnot. How do you change it? Well, I've got a million things for you to try. But let's start with affirmations. So that's talking to yourself. So I'm sitting at the dinner table with my mum, my dad, my two brothers and sister. I'm the youngest of four. And I always love having a family dinner. You know, it was one of those family dinners on a Sunday night that we would have, and there's six of us around the table. Often there'd be other guests. My mum was so awesome. If there were people there, they would just be invited for dinner, and she just made it work. Good on you, Mum. God rest her soul. Love her so much. On this occasion, Dad stands up and he says, if you want to feel great, stand in the front of the mirror every morning and say, I'm the greatest, and repeat it over and over. And so he learned that by going to a personal development seminar in the 70s. And I'm a 6, 7, 8-year-old, and I didn't really understand what he was saying at the time. I thought it was probably a good idea. My brothers would kind of ridicule him, not ridicule him, but, laugh at him. Oh, yeah, good one, Dad. But what I realised, that was the first time at such a young age that I'd ever been exposed to affirmations, using affirmations. So I do stand in the mirror sometimes and say, I'm the greatest, and I think of my dad and how he learnt that and how he imparted that knowledge to me. And since then, I've learned heaps about affirmations. I've even seen Louise Hay, often known as the queen of affirmations. I've got one of her books in the bookshelf behind me. See, to affirm means to state as fact. And it's said that we have around 60,000 affirmations a day, just internally. Now, I don't know how they come up with that number, but it's a lot anyway. Anything you say to yourself that has the word I in it, you've got to be really mindful of. If you're thinking, yeah, I'm no good at this, I made a mistake. By the way, no one ever makes a mistake. All you have is learning experiences. But we have 60,000 affirmations a day, and often they're negative. So let's turn that around. Instead of having that internal dialogue, you say it out loud. You don't have to do what my dad recommended and say I'm the greatest in front of the mirror, although I would recommend that. I think if you do that 5 to 10 times and looking at yourself and do it with a bit of gusto, you will change your state pretty quickly. But there's many, many, many other affirmations that you can say, and say it out loud so you have the power. It gives you more power when you say it out loud. There's an affirmation that I use to be and get into the present moment. So let's say if I start to feel not as good as I want to, or if there's circumstances like we were talking about before that are not as I want them to be, and I need to get into the present moment and tell myself that everything's okay, I'll say this one. And please feel free to use this as it really works. And here it goes. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. They're 4 sentences. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. You can write it down, you can think it. I'll put it in the show notes as well. Because the thing is, all probably is well. Are you breathing? Yes. Okay, well, that's a good start. Do you have shelter? Do you have food? So all probably is well when you think about it, when you get back to basics. Now the next part, everything is working out for my highest good. Now what a great affirmation. So I'm a big believer that everything always works out for my highest good. And I'd like you to take that on as well. Whether you realize it at the time or not, usually when you look back on your life, you think, gee, at the time, that was a really tough time in my life, but it all worked out, or I'm glad that happened. Even though I didn't want that to happen, I'm glad it happened. So these other things could happen. So saying that everything's working out for your highest good is the truth. You make it the truth. Now, I believe that, and I want you to believe that. So we're making up stories all the time about ourselves. So you may as well make up a story. And these stories aren't the truth. We make it the truth, right? Or we think it's the truth. So why not make up a story that's empowering for yourself? That is the truth. And in this particular case, it's everything is working out for my highest good. And out of this situation, only good will come. Just like we said before, it will come, and only good will come out of this situation. And I am safe. Most likely in your part of the world, I'm in Australia. I'd love to know where you are listening to this podcast from. Most people can say, unless you're in a war-torn zone or something like that, but most people can say, I'm safe. I am absolutely safe right now. So all is well. Everything is working out for your highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. And when you repeat that in your mind or out loud, so good I'm doing it out loud now, but it puts you in a calm, positive, mental mindset, brings you into the present moment as well, and puts you in a state to be able to be great. Hey, how's that good? Puts you in a state to be able to be great. Here's some more gold, this time from my mum. As I record this, it's my mum's birthday, so I definitely have to give a piece of gold in regards to my mum. And I've just posted on social media a great quote, which is, I'm strong because I was raised by a strong woman. I love that. And I certainly was. And she's amazing. She's no longer with us, but she's still with me in my heart. She would say, if you were worried about something, she would say, John, it's only time to worry when it's time to worry. And most of the time, it's not time to worry. I know my son was really worried about a maths test that he had coming up. And he was getting all in a bit of a tears about it. But the thing was that he'd done the work beforehand. He'd done all the revision. He'd done everything that he needed to do. And he was so worried. And then he had the test and he said, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And I think I really did well. Now, the point there is he spent all that energy and all that worry the night before, and it wasn't time to worry. He'd taken the action. It was probably the time to be confident. I've done everything that I need to do. There's nothing else I could possibly do. I've done my best. So next time you're really worried about something, just check in with yourself. Is it time to worry? Are you thinking about something that's going to happen next year, or that might happen next year, or that you're worried about happening next year? Is it the time to worry now? No, it's not. It's usually not the time to worry when you're worried. Let's talk about inspiration. Because look, I get it. There's some times when you don't feel like it. It's just you don't feel like it. You're not motivated. You probably should, but you're not going to. You're stamping your feet. You're not going to do it anymore. There's sometimes you can't do it from within. So you've got to look for outside inspiration. So I hope a podcast like this can give you some of that inspiration, but I also would like you to think about what else will give you inspiration. Different people get inspiration in different ways. So what is it for you? For a lot of people, it's music. I've just got a few songs in my music list, and I've got a Spotify playlist called Merkus Motivation. And whenever I hear a song that pumps me up, I put it in that playlist, and also going to be asking my guests what their favourite motivational song is, and we're going to pop it in that list as well. So I'll put that in the show notes. It's a free public Spotify playlist. So if you want to be motivated, maybe those songs will work for you. I've just got to hear the start of Eye of the Tiger, the Rocky theme, and I'm starting to get pumped already. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, is it music for you? If it is music, what is your favourite motivational song? What I would love you to do, you can either pause the podcast now or do it after the podcast. I highly recommend that you either make yourself your own motivational playlist or think about what is the song that gets you going. And after you've listened to this podcast, put it on and or have it handy at those times when you think, I really just don't know if I've got the energy, or I don't know if I want to, or, you're feeling that you want to take some action or do something, but you don't have the inspirational motivation to do it. Whack that song on. For some people, it's a movie. That's a bit more of a long form thing, but so what? What movie can you watch that inspires you? What books could you read? What book did you read? Sometimes I've got books all around me. Sometimes I just pick up a book that I've loved reading and I flick through it again, and that brings back some great memories, and I usually land on something, a paragraph or a page that I need to read. It just works out that way. For some people, prayer might be your inspiration. Pray to a God of your own understanding, or of a higher power of your own understanding. Whatever it is that gets you going, talk to someone that gets you going. I've got a couple of friends, some will be guests in upcoming shows, where I talk to them and I feel inspired and uplifted by having the conversation with them. So who is that for you? Really think about those people or that person and have a conversation with them as soon as you can. Remember we said earlier about it's the people that you hang around with and the information that you absorb that really make a positive influence in your life and help you to be great. Well, this is part of that. So, wow. The first solo, what did we cover? Oh, it's been an absolute joy for me. I hope it's been great for you too. It was good for me. It was good for you. So, what did we cover? Oh yeah, the two aspects of life for a human being, the circumstances and the conversation that we are about the circumstances. Oh, wow, how good was that? Also, the affirmations. And what affirmations can you use? Louise Hay is awesome. Just have to Google her and you'll find some great affirmations, or just Google positive affirmations and pick the one that you like, or make the one up. Or if you like the one that I use, which is all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. Then we looked at the concept of all feelings start with a thought. Wow. Then we also, it's not that I'm impressed with myself, I just love reminding myself of these things. And then we talked about my mum. Yeah, nice one, mum. And then it's not time to worry until it's time to worry. And guess what? It's usually not time to worry. Then inspiration, realizing that we can't always do it from within. Sometimes we need to seek inspiration from outside, and whatever that is for you. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed making this solo podcast. Now, I've got a free gift for you. It's the Timeless Wisdom and a Practical Step-by-Step Prosperity Program, and I will email that to you. All that I ask in return is that you hit that 5-star rating and leave a review of the podcast. Do that and then screenshot it and send it to John at johnmerkus.com. That's John at johnmerkus.com, and I will send you the Timeless Wisdom and Practical Step-by-Step Prosperity Program. It's that simple. It's a PDF. It's yours to keep. I've written a foreword for it, and I think you are absolutely going to love it. So if you could do that, it would mean a lot to me, and you get a free gift. How cool is that? All right, I can feel that motivational music coming on, which is the outro to this podcast. I have some awesome people coming up. I've got some business leaders. I've got some athletes. I've just got some really cool people that are going to have a lot of great gold to share with you, just like we have today. Thank you for listening. Stay awesome. Another incredible episode of Rise and Thrive Conversations for Greatness. I hope this conversation has ignited a fire within you, inspiring you to take bold steps towards your own path of greatness. And guess what? The journey doesn't end here. There's so much more to explore, learn, and achieve. So if you're hungry for more insights, more inspiration, and more strategies to fuel your personal and professional greatness, get ready, because the next episode is just around the corner. Every Tuesday, to be precise, where we'll continue to unravel the secrets to unlocking your extraordinary potential. Don't miss out on the chance to keep rising and thriving with us. Hit the subscribe button and you'll be the first to know when a new episode drops. And remember, greatness is not a destination, it's a continuous journey, so let's embark on it together. Thank you so much for being part of the Rise and Thrive community. It means so much to me that you're listening, and my wish for you is that you get so much out of doing so. Keep reaching for the stars, keep pushing your boundaries, and keep embracing the challenges that come your way, because that's how we truly grow. Stay tuned, stay motivated, and get ready to rise and thrive. If you're finding value from our conversations, don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, family, and colleagues. Together we can create a ripple effect of positivity, optimism, and positive change. Keep shining brightly. Your greatness knows no bounds. And remember, be great and stay awesome.